Welcome back to my fifth class of Azure, Azure DevOps server. Um, so we are discussing, the tool, right? How to use this tool and how to, how to use this tool and how to understand this tool. Actually, it's more of a project management tool. So and actually I'm moving more into testing perspective, not just testing but to how to use those functionalities and features what are there here. Okay, so this is my dashboard. No, that's not my dashboard, the summary. Okay, this is my dashboard, and if I see today, this is today. Yesterday I've actually given some of this. So if you see here, we can hide this. This thing showed up. You see here, a new user story has been added for me. So work assigned to me is 2, and I see here one open story. And the thing is, as a matter of fact, you can open. Let's close this. You can open this right from here if it's an issue or a task or whatever it is. You can do it right from the dashboard. So I'm not doing that in this class. You can do that. I mean, it's simple. You can just go ahead and create it. And so we will go back to work items, and previous class we discussed how to create a task, right? Remember, we created a task saying that functional testing for GMO Online. In this class we will discuss how to create a test case. Okay, so guess what, we will create based on this board. The reason, because this board, so we are in the work items, right? So there are this is a boards, and there are multiple sub options: work items, boards, backlogs, sprints, queries. Okay, so these are sub items of boards. Okay, so we are working actually work items. Not necessary you have to use this one. As I told you, this is a project management tool, not necessary you have to use, but we are trying to use this for understanding. Okay, as a testing perspective, you may not really require it. It might be required for the business perspective, but we will see. We will try to use both boards. We can go ahead and see the boards too. We did yesterday, but I'll be showing you just after this creation of this work item, and see the boards actually. So the board, we know it's a board, but only thing, it's virtual, and in the physical board it's different. So in this class we will be working. I know this thing never saves. I keep clicking that close and that keeps showing up. Okay, so in this class we will be working on how to create a test case. Now it's similar to how do you create a task, only but it's a little bit different. So here what we'll go ahead and click on new work item, and go ahead and click on test case. Once you click on that, a new pop-up window shows up, and so here it's really slow. So here I want to enter this title. So what I'll do is functional testing for GMO Online. Alright, so we know what is GMO Online, right? Remember? Okay, so we'll go back to here. Demo.online. Alright. So we want to test this application. So I'm not going in detail, but what I'm trying to show here is how there's steps. You can write steps. That's a big deal. Because in Jira you don't have this option of writing test. You have to use the plugin or third-party tool to use this, and it's really a little bit complex. But here it's easy. So let's see how do we write a test case here. Task was easy. Task, anyone can assign you task. Your boss can assign you task. Your lead can assign you task, or you can create yourself. The task is not a big deal. Test case is something which you have to create, or someone will create and to you, and you have to execute that test case. That's a different thing. But most of the time you have to create a test case. So let's see how to create a test case. So this is my website. All right, this is my website. This is taking an example. I'm just giving an example. Now, how do I get into this website? So we'll start from scratch. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click on insert step. This is what shape step. Okay, I'll go ahead and click on we have this shade step 2. So you have this two option. What is the action? What is the expected result? Two things. Okay, action. So what I'm trying to do here in action is enter. So let's say I'm testing for Chrome. So GMO for Chrome browser. Let's be specific from here. Okay. So enter the URL for GMO online. It's the URL. So let's put it here. So this is the URL. GMO online in the Chrome browser. Oops, sorry. In the Chrome browser. Okay. Enter the URL and of course. And what do you want to do? And click or press enter. Okay, or press enter, or you can also go ahead with this what the option you have. This normally enter is working with this. Okay, so what is the action? This is the action. Enter the URL for GMO online. I gave the URL name in the Chrome browser and press enter. So that's what we are doing here. So what we are doing here, enter this URL GMO online and hitting it enter. That's great. What is expected? Here expected is homepage of GMO online should be displayed. Right. Okay, this thing took too much offline, so I don't think I can expand. I can expand this way, but this doesn't look good, so we'll just keep it short. Okay, so this is the thing. The action is enter the URL for GMO online. This is in the Chrome browser. And what is the expected? Homepage of GMO online should be displayed. Fair enough. Let's try to write one more test step. Okay. Go ahead. You can go ahead and click here or just type it here. It automatically does for you. Now what I want to do is click on this button. Enter GMO online. So you know what? Click on the button. What do I want to write it here? Enter GMO online. Enter GMO. This is list uppercase. Alright. Enter GMO online. Alright. Click on the. You know what? I'll just remove this button. Okay. Click on enter GMO online button. So what is expected? Let's see what happens. So you know, if you don't know what it actually next thing happens, so you want to refer these documents. This BRD document, FRD. This case, this scenario is you know you have to refer documents. FRD document. This is functional requirement document. So in that you have all the information. What is the next page should be, how the page should look like, and all the stuff. So click here. So this is the online catalog page is displayed. So what we'll do here is expected. What is expected? Page is you know what? Guess what? We'll use navigated to. Oops, this thing took that Um, Unfortunately, it took that. What I'll do here is the formatting option is really bad, so I don't want that format. Okay, good. So a page is navigated to online catalog page. Fair enough. Okay, that is my second step. Now I want to write my third step. Now you can click here again, and you can go ahead and click here. I'll do this easy way. Now what you want to do here is, okay, so enter the amount as 10. Let's put as 10, right? And the 3% don't end in the order quantity. So enter the value. What I'll put is enter the value. Value as 10 in in order quantity, actually order quantity in 3% in order quantity column. Let's be specific. Okay, so we'll be, you have to be very specific and more detail oriented. So 3% don't end, 3% don't end. What happens? Nothing happens. So let's say I'm trying to select only that order and click on place an order button. Okay, so and click on place an order button. Right, what happens? Page is navigated to, let's see what happens. So if you don't know, you have to again refer documents. Of course nobody knows, what's the next page will be, what it will be. Place order page. So what I'll write here is page is navigated to, I'll copy this, since I don't want this format thing is not good. So place order with page, or page, how I want to display it. Okay, it's good. Let's write the fourth step. Okay, click on this. You can go ahead and click on this. You can move the step up or lower the step. It's up to you. You want to remove the step, okay, you can do that. Okay, so now what I want to do is click on proceed with order. Click on proceed with order button. Okay, and click on, I'm sorry. So we have this click on proceed with order button, right? Actually, guess what? Verify the information on the page, on the web page. Let's say we are writing for the web application. So verify the information on the web page and click on proceed order button. Okay, so verifying this $2.99 price, and okay, and click on proceed with order. So what happens is billing information page. So what you're going to write here is page, in the expected page is navigated to billing information web page. Okay, that's good. Let's try to add one or two more steps, and we'll figure it out what to do with this. Okay, click again here, and now what is here is I'll fill up all the information here and mix and I'll take some test making, and some random card. I don't care what it is, just for testing purpose we are using this. And 1219, and I'll put the same as address. So what happening is enter, what we'll put here is enter all the information in the building information page and click on place the order button. Okay, now what happens is page is navigated to let's see what happens. Online receipt. Sorry, here you have this online store receipt, so I'll use this. So page is navigated to online store receipt web page. Okay, I'll write one more last step, and because there's one more button here. Okay, so click on return to home page. Click on return to home page button. Okay, actually guess what, verify all the information. This is very important. Verify all the information. If it is correct, you have to be very careful on this. So verify all the information, and then I'll click on return to home page. What happens? Home page of GMO online is displayed. Did it really display? We'll find out. Let's see. Yes, it went to the home page of. So this is how. This is not testing. This is you are actually trying to write the test cases. This is a joke, to be honest. The reason this is a high level document. So test case. So whenever somebody asks you what is the test case is a high level document. Why you say this high level? This is a high level. Okay, there is something called high level. High level in sense it doesn't say everything about everything. Let me show you here. There might be bug here. Okay, there might be this image. Let's take this image as an example. This image is on the right side, it should be on the left side, or the color of GMO online is green color, it should be blue color, or black color or something, and there the spelling mistake on this. Of course there are a lot of bugs here. 1997, this is not 1997, that is an issue. So we didn't test it all this, right? But the problem is we are not writing everything in this test case. Remember that we are not writing everything. Why? Because we are calling what is a test case, we are calling it it is a high level document prepared by the QA analyst, or QA engineer, or QA tester. Okay, it's a high level document. You don't have all the information in that intact. So what you want to do here, so there is a recommendation from my side, based on my experience, probably based on my knowledge and based on how I used to do. So what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and click on add new step, and what I'll do here is I'll put some of the parameters. Tested. So here's the thing, when you're doing this testing, you have to remember these three important things. Let's say we are writing test cases for this, right? There are three important things you have to do. You have to test for positive scenarios, negative scenarios, boundary values. Let's do that. So test it for positive scenario, and test it for, let's use this subject, test it for negative scenario. Just I'm pressing the shift and enter, so it goes in the same step, so don't worry about it. Test it for boundary values. So boundary values doesn't work for this at this point of time, but the thing is, when you are using this boundary value, is kind of range 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20, so it's kind of range. But since we have these values here, values here, right? So that's the reason you want to test for that. Tested for boundary values. Tested cosmetic issues, cosmetic cosmetic scenarios. Okay, so cosmetic scenarios are something like, as I told you, right? It is black color, it should be in green color, or did a spelling mistake here, or something is missing, and then all those things, those comes under cosmetic issues. Cosmetic scenarios, let's try to do this. Okay, tested if there are any security issues, you can also do that, but we will not worry about that at this point of time. Security, security of web page, HTTPS, is it HTTPS or HTTP, all those things, and the security, that is security, tested. Now another thing is tested for okay, let's see this. Tested images, buttons, radio buttons, we don't have this radio buttons at this time, but actually guess what, we'll just try to use this. And this address and text box, you want to put as edit box, text box, etc. Now you see, I'm just adding this as an extra step. Okay, what is expected? Expected is, for this it should be the web page, the functionality, let's say this functionality of the application should be as per the requirement. You have this requirement document, it should be as per the requirement, right? So that's what is the expected. So so this makes little life easier. The reason, because there might be an audit. Okay, your boss might check what you're doing. Okay, your boss might view all these things, but even if your boss is easy on you, there is an audit review. Audit review, they will see where did you check this button. They suddenly ask you, okay, where is this text bar tested? Where is this button tested? Okay, how do you know why it's going into the next page before filling this information? All those things, there might be an issue. So what you want to do, that's the reason we are adding this step. So what we'll do, since this I don't want this as a 7th step, what I'll do is I'll drag it up, go up, go up, go up, go up, up. I'll put it as first step, just put as first step, so that tested for positive scenario, negative scenario, boundary values, cosmetic issues, images, buttons, review, etc., etc. Okay, so this is how you can write a test case in this. Okay, all right. So whatever we have done is no use so far. Okay, but but this is for your knowledge, So what we'll do here, we'll go ahead and save before something happens. Okay, now this got saved, test case 25, and I want to add a link. Let's say you have to add the link. Without link you cannot do anything here. This is complicated. Now you are adding link parent, and which user story we are working on, you said 22nd. So later I'll change this one. For now we'll just put it this one, okay, and click on okay. So this is the parent. So what happens if when you link it, it shows in the board section. You want to see that? Let's see that. The only thing the linking is, it shows in the board section. Did it show in the board section? Which one did we link to? Let's find out. Let's see. So this is the work item, what we did, and we linked to story number 22, web application. So 22 it should show up. If it's not showing, then we are doing something wrong here. So 22 just some task, it's not showing up. But let's see here. So oops, so it's not showing up here. Okay, so we see here, there's some reason it's not linked with this. Okay, it's not linked, that's the reason it's not showing up in the block. So the problem is, you know sometimes it doesn't show up. So what you want to do here is, the best thing is work on the boards in that case. Okay, the reason you can create a board here itself, you can create, you see here, add test, I'll add test. Let's see why it's not showing up here. I'll put just test, and this should get added, right? Let's see what's happening here, and I will link that same thing here. We added this test, right? So related work, it's test. We'll go to test here. 26th. Let's find out 26th. So here is, there's no way showing here 26th. Here you go. 26th, and see where it is linking it. So here test, how interesting. So I get the point here. So what I'll do here is I'll delete this one. Just what, I'll delete this. So this is the important thing what you want to remember. Okay, I can delete here. Go ahead and remove test. Okay, so what we went wrong, what we learned from it, that we did something wrong here. So linking is very important, right? Linking is very important. So I'll also remove from here. Oops, no, this is should be deleted. Oh, I can delete from here actually. Oh, it's supposed to delete. So this is pretty complex. Oh, other day I deleted this one, right? Should be click on this and should click on this recycle, and it should be deleted, but it's not. Okay, we'll just leave this thing alone. The other day we deleted, right? This thing, this delete mode also doesn't work. So okay, so we created this. Let's go ahead and go back here, and we don't want this as a parent, so we'll just unlink it and go ahead and click on link. Here what you want to add is test case. That's the important thing you want to remember it. Alright, so what's the project name? Web application for gym online, and click on OK. So that's how you can link it. Now it should be good. Now in the board it shows you that one. So it's supposed, it's still doesn't show up. There's some bugs here, I guess. There are some serious bugs. Okay, so let's put this design into ready, and we just click on this. Should this is so complex. So that's the reason, right? So what I do already, so it's better to add so it's better to add test case from here itself, because some reason it's not showing up here, but I can add the test here, add test, and function test. So because there are 6 test cases, more than 7, it's not showing up, but that should not be an issue. But let's see here, test GMO online, and that's how it's supposed to show up here actually. So we will go to here, the work items, and test GMO. That's good. But here what is showing up here is web application GMO online. So that's what we did, right? Test. But did we do something? Oh, something might. So this is the appropriate. Okay, great. See, there's so much complexity involved here. Now it should be good. Save this one. Back to work items. Okay, now I can delete this one. I should supposed to have this option of deleting here. Somehow I deleted it once, but this is not working here. So never mind. Now go to the boards. Now it's showing up here. You see here, do test. I can delete here. Oops, sorry. So functional testing for GMO online browser. You see here now, because of this, if you see here, this got updated in the velocity chart got updated. Okay, that's good. Alright, so so you have to remember that whenever you linking is very important in this. Linking screws up everything if you're not linking appropriately. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we go back and go back to work items here and see functional testing of GMO online. So for the browser we have done, we can clone it. We have this clone option. Actually there's supposed to be a clone option where you can clone it. So if you're cloning it, so you don't have to rewrite the same steps again and again, because you want to do this for Chrome browser, you want to do this for Firefox, you want to do this for Apple Safari, you want to do this for Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, and so on and so forth. So okay, so just remember it has to be a test, not test cases. This guy made really very complex on this. For some reason, Microsoft is very convoluted. They make it more harder actually. So this is ready, but it shows us completed. I don't know why it's showing us. I cannot even change this. So okay, so here you see this is how you can write a test case, and make sure you link it properly. And development link, so this is done by the developers, and they can add this too. They can, if they have no Git repositories, okay, if there is a Git repository, they put in Git, and they do that from the development point of view. So that's how it works. So here if it's automated or not automated or planned, how is it? So we put as not automated. And priority, Here the priority means how soon this test case should be executed. So first is the highest priority, second is the medium, third is the lower, and fourth is the least priority. Okay, we will put as default 2. Number 2 means normal priority, normal. Okay, so that's the important. How do you, so this creation of test case is good, but linking is very important. If you're not linking it appropriately, it will never show up. Okay, and so that's how we work. So let's go to now. What we'll do here is we'll work on boards now. Okay, we had enough for this. We can also create bugs. Let us finish this. Bugs will be probably the next class, and we'll finish this one actually. Now what we'll do here is we have successfully written this, right? Now we'll go to board section. Board, I mean, you can use the other one, the same thing. It's actually the same thing. The work items and boards are actually the same thing. Here the way of representation is different, and the way of representing is different. Here it's easy, board is easy. I would recommend board because here you can write your task yourself and create bug yourself. Everything you can do right here. You don't want work items. Probably Microsoft will be removing this in future because there's no reason of having double things. Either this is the reason of you having this both things, right? The work items and the boards is, let's say if you're working on waterfall methodology, you cannot use this one, right? You don't want to use this one. If you are using agile and Kanban process, in agile there is a Kanban process, then you use this one. Okay, so that's the reason you have this both, but both is not required. Any one is good, but for your understanding, we have done both. Okay, so we can do this one. So if you see here, I got this one. Now what we have done so far is just created a test case. Let's execute a test case. All right, let's execute this test case and see what happens. So for that, okay, we'll actually try to see his backlogs. What's his backlogs? His backlogs again. This is similar thing. What you have, you can go ahead and create. You don't want to create a user story. It's a similar thing. You see this we have created, right? So this is, but I don't know why you have this again an option of creating while we can do in the board and work items. See, this thing is Microsoft Works are very complex. They keep doing this repeated option. Is having this repeated is not required actually. Backlogs only you can view this or you can move it, but you can add it here too. That's funny because you can add that to here too. There was the point of having backlogs, right? The same thing. It's the same thing, but a different perspective of viewing that it's the same user story. The same user story, test cases and bugs and all those things. You see here we have test case. That see here we don't have test case for here at this time. Not sure why, but the task is showing up. So task is there. So that's backlogs, and go to sprint. Oh my God, this is again the same thing. The same thing but different perspective. But here you have this iteration. Which iteration you want? Iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3. You want to go for the new sprint? Of course, you can add a new sprint. And I'll put as what was the previous one? Iteration 4. I'll put as iteration 4. Oops, sorry. Iteration 4. And when is the start date? Let's take today's start date and end date. When is the end date? Okay, February. They are recommending February 2018. Oh wow. Oh, 2018. I thought it was 2019. Okay, never mind. So we are not working on past for now. Uh, we are working in future, so we'll finish this with 19. And go ahead and create. Oh, you don't have permission to do this, of course. The reason because you don't have this admin access. So these iterations, all these are done by Scrum Masters. So as a tester or as a developer or as a team member or as a whatever you are, you cannot actually. But if you're a manager, you might have access, but you don't know how to use it. So don't worry about it. But if you're a tester, you don't use it. You only view which iteration is the same. So that's a sprint. Okay, that's what the sprint is all about. Queries we'll talk about these queries at the end. It's kind of reports. We'll talk about that. Reports probably will be very sharp. Will be very sharp. Okay, so now we'll go back to our boards section. So we know backlogs, it's same thing. Sprints, how many sprints, how many iterations we are doing, which sprint we are working on, and all those stuff. So we have all this. Okay, so we'll go back here and see which test case we create. We created one test case, of course, functional testing for GMO Online, and this has various steps. Very good. So I want to execute this test case. That is my test case, right? That is my test case, and I have to execute my test case. Now what I'll do here is I'll go to the test plan section. Go ahead and click on test plan, but unfortunately you don't have that one. So let's see web application. Oh, we do. How fortunate we are. I mean, how lucky I am to have this thing. So you have these two options. I'm really lucky to show you this. Actually, last time when I did this never showed up. I don't know. I have to use this one and use this user story. I don't know. Somebody created that user story, and I was wondering how am I supposed to do this. Now that's good. This thing showed up right here. See, here's the thing. This should be automatically updated. This is like HPALM. If you are familiar with HPALM, Hewlett Packard Application Lifecycle Management, then this will be easy for you. That is a joke, and this is a second joke. The reason because this is, I mean, this thing is. They want to move it as more into project management rather than test management. So that's the reason. That's why they're calling us Azure DevOps. They're trying to make it as a project management, but they're still including this test cases and all those things. So, all right. So we'll go to test plan, and here automatically my web application for GMO Online user story. This is the user story, of course, right? Let's find out then. Let's go to the boards, and I'll go here. See here, web application of GMO Online project. That is my user story. All right, that is my user story, and that got updated right here. It should. Web application for GMO Online project. It should get updated, right? Then what's the point of having this if it's not updated? It should get updated, and I feel very lucky when the reason because I'm explaining to you and it worked suddenly. I don't know how it worked, but it worked. So this is an ideal scenario. This is an ideal scenario. Whenever you create user story, whenever you have this, it should get updated in the test plans. This is the test plans, and because why? If you ask me why, because you have to run the test cases, right? You are actually just created a test case, but you never ran it, right? You just created. So let's run it. You have this option if you run. since there is only one test case, this is a set, one set, because this has multiple steps. We have seen that we have written like 7 steps. So let's run it. You have this option of run as web application. Of course we have done only for web application. Run as desktop application, no, this is not a client application. Run with options, I'm not worrying about it. I'll just click for okay, so I only have one option. So okay, great. So what I'll do here, I can, this pop-up window shows up, I can drag it like this, and what I can do here is what is this? Okay, so this is, you know, what I'll do here is, okay, I'll see tested for pass. Okay, I click this check mark, because you can do this parallelly. You have to do this parallelly. For example, enter URL on Gym Online and press enter button. Of course, enter Gym Online and press enter button. Yes, and my test case is passed. And you can do this parallelly. Once you get experience, once you get knowledge of this, I will first execute my first I'll test my application and then execute my test cases, because my whole theme of an idea of having this is to open bugs. Why? Because I have to open bugs, because I am a tester. If I am a tester, I have to show that there is a bug in application. That's why I am a hire, right? Otherwise there's no point. So, but for now we'll run this parallelly. Click on enter GMO online button. Expected result, page is navigated in online catalog page. Great. Click on this button and this is passed. And the next test case, enter the value as 10 in the column 3% DOM 10 and click, of course we'll put it as 10 and click on place an order, and it's going to this is good. Verify this page or proceed order. Okay, we'll verify this, everything looks good, and you know, and I'll put, oops, and I check mark this. Enter all the information, billing information, and please okay, enter all the information. I'll copy this and put it here, and 1219 and place an order. Of course this was working good. Now verify. Let's see, take an example. Okay, so let's take an example. You can take a screenshot actually guess what, supposed to what, oh, I get it. You have to install this this is not used to be necessary. Okay, great. Let's see, let's say for now, for this reason, we'll just pause it and we'll just save and close. Okay, so my test case is passed successfully, but that's not the point. You see, that's not the point. Now what happens is, you know, you have successfully executed these test cases. That's good. Your boss will call you. Let's say your boss calls you, hey, can you stop by at my desk? Now when you get such kind of questions, that means you're in trouble. Let's say there's a production issue and your boss said there's a production issue and you passed this. How do I know that you passed it? It's a very good question, right? How do you know that I passed it? So what you want to do here is, I missed something here. So what you want to do here is, so it's in progress. Okay, I'm rerunning this again. Let's say I'm rerunning it and it's in progress. And what I would recommend here is, let's see, what I'll do here is, I want to show my boss that whenever I executed it, they had no defects, right? There were no defects. We were successfully passed everything. Everything was good. So now what I want to do is, I want to my boss asked, how do I know that this test case you have done is passed, right? You can put just like that, right? It's how do I know? That's a very good question. So what I want to do here is, let's see, so I use here the tools here. Now I'll take a screenshot. On the print screen and put it here, and I'll use only what is required for my project. Okay, and I put it here. This is my step 1. Okay, and then for my second step, go ahead, click on enter and put the value enter, and take a screenshot again, put it here, and I'll just put this is my second step. Okay, and I'll just clear this and place an order, take a screenshot. For this is my third step. For every step I'm taking, if you see this, if you notice it, I'm taking a screenshot, because my boss should be convinced that there was no defects when we did our testing, right? We don't want any issues, because they will catch you if there is a production issue, right? So you don't want any issues. So now we have this. I'll take the screenshot of filling all this information, and this credit card number 1290 should be this. Take a screenshot. Screenshot is heart of the application. If you are missing screenshot, then you are missing your life. Your job. This is what the job is all about. Screenshots. No screenshots, no evidence. Too bad. This is the evidence. You guess what? You have to have evidence better than FBI. They have less information than compared to what you will be doing that. So trust me. Until and unless they investigate, they find it less information. We should have more information than that. So we have to guide them, not they guide us, right? So here I'll take this, and this is my 5th step. So for first step, second step, third step, and 5th step. So what I'll save it, and put browse, put on desktop actually, and put as test case of Geomo Online. And let's save it. Let's close this. Don't require this anymore. And what I'll do here is, I'll be still running it, so it's still in the progress. What I'll do here is, let's say I have passed all this, right? We have done this previously. So let's say we have passed all this, and you have this option of add attachment. See here, add attachment. Go ahead and click on that. That's the reason they put here. It's not my resume. You have to look for. Oh, sorry. Oh, I missed it somewhere. Here you go. Okay. Now this, what happens is, now what you're saving close. Now your boss will ask you, how do I know that your test case is passed, right? You say what, actually, there is an actually, there is an attachment where you can see that we have passed this, and you can view this in the attachment. It's not showing up here. That's good. In summary, if you see this, there should have been attachment. Here you go. Result attachment. See here, it's showing null. I don't know why it's showing null, but it has some information. So how do we get here? This is what they will be looking into it. This they will see here, and they see this view test result, and this page shows up and says like test, and they download it. And once they download it, they will find out that they had no issues. Okay, so this is how you have to execute your test cases. Okay, so let's say there's a production issue, right? There's a production issue, and your boss tells you that there is a bug, and how do I know that you have tested it? So you can tell your boss, hey, guess what? At the point when I tested, you can check in the results. If you see view test result, and you know what? There's an option where you can view this. I hope boss supposed to know all these things, and they have to be experienced in this. And see the test result, and it will show you, that there is a documentation, and there is, when we tested it, there was no issues of this kind. Okay, so that's how you can, do your testing. So this is very important. You have to go into this test plan section and execute it, or runs, or probably you might view this here also. You will show up here. It's supposed to show up. Yeah. See here. Here it will show up, but but that doesn't help much. But this should be good. You have tested it, and you found it in this, and just say that, hey, you know what? So this is very important part of this project. Although optional, I would say optional, but very important when your boss asks you such kind of critical questions when you cannot back up. That's your job, right? If you're a tester, if you say I don't know, then you're you're in trouble. Your job is in trouble. So we have to be very careful on that. So I guess I took a lot of time for this. So we'll go, we'll stop here. This is about writing a test cases and execution of test cases. We'll go to the next class, how to open defects, and see, we'll be probably having 2 more classes, and we'll wrap it up. How to open defects, and as well as queries. You have this queries kind of thing, right? Oops, where is that? There's a query. Did I see that somewhere? Oh yeah, here you go. So we'll go to that query at the last. That is for generating reports. Okay, so that's pretty much. And for this test case creation and execution, and documenting the results of the test case in Azure DevOps, formerly DFS. Okay, I hope you like this video. I hope it was good for you. I mean, of course, it may not be completely understandable. I know this is a little complex and little bit convoluted process than Jira and Rally, but still, it's you can practice it because you have access. Don't if you don't have access, you can reach out to me. I'll give you the access. So I mean, I cannot give you access, but I can create an email ID and create for you, and you can access it, or we can work together. How we can have this option with the email ID and see what we can. I can help you out if you have any questions. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next class.